not easy going last, so please give an especially warm welcome to Daniel Yaffe and Jonathan Yaffe of AnyRoad.
It's summer 2013 and you're planning a family vacation. You book your flight and your Airbnb with a few clicks from your phone. But then you want to take a tour with a professional guide to show your kids the wonders of the world. Your friend hands you a slip of paper with an email address. You correspond back and forth, send an international money transfer to a sketchy bank account on the other side of the world, and hope for the best when you arrive.
2/3 of the trillion-dollar tourism industry is still offline. There are massive segments that have absolutely no visibility. AnyRoad is here to solve that. We've built a platform to modernize the tourism industry, and we're working with governments to implement it.
And we're starting with the $16 billion market of professional licensed tour guides because they're at the heart of this industry. This is a demographic composed of 400,000 professional guides who make an average of $40,000 a year and are literally still using feature phones, paper brochures, GeoCities websites, which are still popular in Japan, and international money transfers. We're starting with this market because it's 95% offline.
Last year, we met with 8 governments and thousands of professional tour guides around the world. We listened to their pain. We built AnyRoad for them. AnyRoad's core product is a free guide-centered CMS, which simplifies communications, booking, scheduling, trust, and international payments. We've put in a commission-based structure for new business on top of the CMS to begin monetization from the beginning.
We drive demand generation through 2 key pillars. The first is our B2C consumer-facing marketplace, which will soon have social recommendations for discovery.
The second are our B2B partnerships with the gatekeepers of the industry to lower our user acquisition cost. We've already partnered with some of the largest conferences, hotel chains, and accommodation websites who view AnyRoad as added value for their clients.
On the supply side, our key breakthrough in onboarding this very fragmented world of tour guides and SMBs was that these guides are all accredited by their governments, and they're members of guide associations.
So we partner with these organizations who are at the backbone of the industry, who have vested interest in modernizing their tourism infrastructure. They onboard the guides for us. This creates a self-vetted, self-perpetuating system of professional tour guides around the world, and we love self-service as a growth strategy. We're not inventing a new industry, nor are we simply aggregating what's already online. We're dropping a platform on top of a massive industry that's still fragmented and very antiquated. Think open table for the tourism industry.
In April of this year, we launched in New York, San Francisco, Rio de Janeiro, London, Israel, and Tokyo. We've lived in each of these markets, we speak their languages, have local partners, and are testing key assumptions about how to bring this industry online. We believe in extreme localization because we understand that the world does not operate the same as Silicon Valley's massive early adopters. We knew that if we were going to corner the base of this trillion-dollar industry, we had to test globally from day one.
And after only 3 months, completely bootstrapped, this is already showing phenomenal success. We're already working with
4 national governments with 3 more pending, and
9 guide associations across 4 continents.
We were international from the beginning, and creating these high-level targeted partnerships allowed us to stay lean and grow rapidly.
Responsibility is not only something we believe in. In this case, it's also good business. We give 5% of our revenue to local nonprofits chosen by the guides. Governments love it, and it's part of the unique value proposition that will allow us to onboard another 10 markets in the next year.
We're brothers, if you couldn't tell. Together, we've created 6 successful companies, enjoyed 1 big failure, speak 5 languages, have been over 100 countries, and have come together to modernize this industry. Our CTO is a former engineer at SoundCloud, and our advisors have deep experience as executives at Apple and eBay.
We're live, we're revenue positive, and we're blowing away our metrics.
Our name, as well as our philosophy, comes from a George Harrison song that's inspired many people. If you don't know where you're going, AnyRoad will take you there.
That was part of your 5 minutes, the sound clip?
Yeah.
You know, I think intended or unintended, this Startup Idol year has been noteworthy for the most moxie ever in one set of 5 contestants. We're going to end going the other direction. Casey, you first.
I actually think it's a brilliant idea. I think aggregating these kind of communities is clearly hard in finding them, but you're focusing on an industry that exists, that's big, and that's ripe for opportunity, and I think you guys have a good chance of success.
Dana.
I love you guys. I mean, great. I'm not sure that partnering with governments to launch a consumer product is the best idea, but you know, maybe it is. I mean, and you didn't talk at all about sort of the consumer adoption so far.
Jeff.
So we've invested in a number of travel companies that have gotten pretty large, and I think that the one thing that I saw each of them do in their pitches was they really personalized it. Here's my user, here's the other side, here's the provider. And so you guys have a very macro pitch. We're going to partner with governments, solve world hunger, et cetera, et cetera. Bring it down a level. Here's you're traveling with your family to Brazil. You want to go on a, bring it home and then sort of scale that out and say, we're going to do that tens of thousands of times per day. We're going to charge X. Here's how we're going to make, we've got to personalize a little bit. Otherwise, it's a little hard to kind of understand where it's all going. But I would agree with Casey. I think it's a great idea, and it's clearly a huge market for any of us who've traveled. You know the pain.
Marissa.
I like businesses that take software and apply it to industries, sort of the software eats meme. So I like the notion of software eats travel guide booking. I think that it's clearly a big area. And I also think that in terms of local and travel, a lot of it comes down to how familiar you are with the market. So I like the fact that you've been to these markets, that you understand them, and you're starting there. And it's exciting to see how fast you're scaling up.
And before you two go, you mentioned you bootstrapped the business. How much did you bootstrap it with? And have you taken any professional investors' money yet?
No, not yet.
The first question?
What?
How much did you take?
We've spent about $60,000.
$60,000.
Are you guys going to raise money?
Daniel Yaffe, Jonathan Yaffe, AnyRoad. Thank you very much. Okay, everybody, that was just fantastic. We need your help now. It's time to vote for who the winner of Startup Idol is this year. On your screen, you should see a code for each of the contestants listed in the order that they presented. To vote, text the code for your preference to the following number, 22333.
It's like Idol.
That is on your screen too, but I'll repeat it in case it's too small. The code you texted to is 22333. Now, while you're voting, I want to have a short conversation with the judges. And I'll start with you, Marissa. One question watching them all that intrigues me and listening to your responses is, when you're looking at entrepreneurs pitch their businesses, can you discriminate between the substance and quality of their idea on the one hand and the quality of their presentation on the other hand? And does that matter?
I think you can. I mean, certainly a good presentation helps, but I think you can clearly see the ideas and whether or not it's differentiated from the market.
Could a bad presentation but a good idea sway you, Jeff?
Yeah, I think a bad presentation can hurt, but I'll tell you, when you have an hour with someone, it's a lot different than 5 minutes. So in an hour, you get call it a half-hour pitch, then you spend a half an hour asking them questions and really digging into their knowledge of the business and the industry. And it, in my experience, becomes real obvious real quick whether you're dealing with somebody who really knows their business when they don't have a PowerPoint in front of them.
Yep.
But in 5 minutes, that doesn't happen.
We know we put some tough constraints.
We would not be very successful listening to 5-minute pitches.
No.
Dana?
I mean, agreed, but a 5-minute pitch is a 5-minute pitch, but you basically, as an entrepreneur, you're constantly pitching your business. You're giving that 5-minute pitch, 20,000 times a day. I mean, you're just literally, you're pitching on, employees, investors, partners, customers, and so it does need to be a good pitch.
Casey?
Definitely, but I agree. I think someone has to look at a PowerPoint to tell their story. Not my favorite thing, whether they work for me or they're pitching an idea. And I usually like entrepreneurs to have thought about all the bad things that can happen, because they all usually happen.
And what I really liked about the responses that all of you gave is that you were specific. You approached this exactly the way a professional investor would, by especially you hammered it on, well, you didn't give use cases, or you needed to say more about this. And even with 5 minutes, you could. We have the results. The overwhelming choice of the audience is AnyRoad. Congratulations to the Yaffes from AnyRoad.